Hi guys, it's Bláithín here from A Style of Living. Sash is here too. It is a freezing day in January today. Oh my god, it is so cold. But we're going to soldier on. This weekend, I threw my first dinner party of the year. Well, actually, technically it was the first planned dinner party. I did throw an impromptu dinner party a couple of weeks back, but I digress. This was the first scheduled planned dinner party of the year, and it was so much fun. As many of you will know, I am writing a book on dinner parties and entertaining this year, and so my goal is to, at the very least, have one dinner party a month. And along with that, I'm going to share some taster sections and little ideas as I'm writing the book with you, hence today's video. So I've just written this section, it's going to be called something along the lines of my dinner party rules, tips, advice and best practice. And today I'm going to share I'm going to call them hard and fast rules when throwing a dinner party. So these are kind of, for me, the non-negotiables. The other parts of the section include more of these hard and fast rules, but also just some tips and advice and best practices to make sure that your dinner party goes perfectly, or at least as perfectly as it can. So let's jump straight into it. So dinner parties, you guys know I love to do them, hence writing the book. But for me, a dinner party, as the name suggests, takes place at a time you would serve dinner. So at the earliest, you would invite guests to your home for 5 p.m. Ideally though, I think the optimal sort of invite time to a dinner party is between 7 and 8:30. And I go into that a little bit more in the book as to why that is the optimal sort of invite time. The next sort of like really kind of non-negotiable for me when it comes to dinner parties is the day of the week that you would host them on. So you really have to think about yourself and your guests. So a dinner party it's an occasion, it's a performance. So you need plenty of time to prepare, and your guests also need plenty of time before, after and during to enjoy it. So there is absolutely no point in having a dinner party on a Sunday night when people have to be up super early for work on Monday. So for me, the optimal days of the week to host a dinner party are Friday and Saturday. You could also do a Thursday as well, and Sundays are permitted if the following Monday is a public holiday and all of the guests or everybody has the day off. Then you can do a Sunday. The next thing you kind of really have to think about is that a dinner party takes place in your home. Inviting a group of friends or a group of guests to a restaurant or a hotel or a venue that is not your home or a home, even if you're going to be paying for the entire meal, is not a dinner party. That's just a party. So a dinner party takes place in the home. The next thing is you got to think about your guests, who you're inviting. So all of your guests do not need to know each other, but they should at least know one other person that does not include the hosts. So often at a dinner party, there are two hosts, whether it's you and a significant other or your partner or just a friend who's sort of taking the mantle with you on that occasion. So outside of the hosts, your guests should know at least one other person. And that brings us, I suppose, to the size of a dinner party. At the very lowest, a dinner party should consist of 4 people. So that could be the host and 3 others, or the 2 hosts and 2 others. And at the extreme other end, a dinner party should have no more than 12 guests at it, including the hosts. So that would be the hosts plus 11 or plus 12, depending on how many of you there are. All guests should be over 18. They should all be adults. A dinner party is a time for friends or family to come together and sort of relax. It's their downtime. As the name suggests, it's both dinner and a party. And parents can't relax if their kids are around. They can't let their hair down. So this is definitely a time for babysitters or childminders or whatever the situation is. Now, of course, if you are the hosts and you have children, I'm not suggesting you farm your children out somewhere else for the evening, but they should not be attending the dinner party. They may very well be in your home, but they shouldn't be guests at the dinner party, as much as they may hate that. Because I have to say, the one thing that we used to love to do as children when my parents hosted a dinner party was basically crash it, because there was always delicious food and very happy people. This leads me on to family and dinner parties. So, of course, it's perfectly acceptable to have a family-only dinner party where every member, or every guest, is a member of your family. But when having a dinner party where it's a mix of guests who are friends, family, etc., the rule of thumb should always be that you should never have more than a quarter of your guest list be close family members. The next and final rule that I'm going to share with you today is, should your guests bring something? Now, for me, and this is very important, a dinner party, as I mentioned, it's a performance. It's an opportunity for you to show off a new dish you've learned or experiment, but you never cook something for the first time the night of a dinner party. That's an extra bonus rule. But it's really a controlled performance. So you cannot do that if your guests are bringing dessert or some other form, a side dish or something. You must stay in control. And my God, this is hard and fast. Potluck is not a dinner party. I am sorry for those who like to make it easier on themselves. That is not a dinner party. That is some other form of casual thing that's happening all on its own. At the very most, all your guests should ever bring is a bottle of wine. And at that, I would not necessarily be reliant on it to accompany the meal. The wine should in fact just be for the table, as in a gift to the home as a thank you. Some guests may bring a host or hostess gift, and of course that might be flowers or chocolates or a candle or something, and of course always gratefully receive those. But beyond a bottle of wine, your guests should not contribute to the actual dinner party meal itself. I hope you enjoyed these rules and that you will use them. As I said, for me, these are hard and fast dinner party rules, should never be broken. Of course, in my book, I share a great deal more. I think at the moment I'm up on about 46. And I have done sort of a couple of rewrites of that particular section of the book. I intend to add more as the time goes by. But yes, if you're interested in knowing more about my book and what's going on, obviously subscribe to this channel. Not all my content is going to be about the book and sort of tips and advice and recipes from it, but every so often I will be doing little tasters here and there. As I mentioned before, those who are signed up to my mailing list and who are interested in the book, I am creating a sort of a hamper that one lucky person will win when my book is published. If you want more information on that, I will link to the web page above for you to check that out. But for now, please do give this video a thumbs up if you love throwing dinner parties like me. If you have any tips or advice you'd like to share with our viewers and with our community, hello, you can do so in the comments below, and I promise that in the event somebody shares something amazing and I use it in the book that I haven't already done so, I will give you full credit. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, and next week I'm going to be sharing with you my recent office renovation. I'm sure you're noticing a bit of a different backdrop here today. Well, I have completely redone my office this past week. It's not 100% finished, but I'm getting there, and I'm going to be sharing that with you next week. Sasha says bye too. Bye, guys.